Yeah, there's a chance that we get to the end of this and I've done this all completely wrong, but I think I understand.
All right, this segment I like to call Movie Minute,
All
even
right.
though it'll probably be more in the realm of maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
So we can rename it Movie Minutes. I think that's more appropriate. And in this segment, me and Samuel are just gonna really talk about the movies that we've watched this week and what we thought about them.
Sounds
I'm
good.
gonna start it off. I'm just gonna go in, I guess, chronologically order of the movies that I watched. The first movie that I watched in recent was Onward, the Pixar movie with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. And I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed this movie. It has great heart. Of course, you're going to get a great picture and great quality with a Pixar film. So the animation is top notch. I'll tell you the ending will... I'm not going to say will because there's some heartless people that watch this podcast, I know. But the ending might make you cry. It almost made me cry. And you know it's a good movie if you cry during it, especially if it's animated. That's kind of my rubric. I cry during a lot of my favorite movies, which are animated movies. The Lego Movie gets me every single time. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse makes me cry every single time. But I would just want to recommend it to everyone. Don't think that it's just a little kid's movie, but invest a little bit of time into it. It's on Disney Plus right now,
Gotcha.
and I think it's a really fun one.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've been kind of the mindset, I guess, that it's kind of a little kid's movie. I haven't looked at it yet. But, yeah, I'll check it out now. Thank you, Jack. Let's see. Movie I watched recently, kind of an oldie, but a good one, definitely. I watched Captain America, The First Avenger. And I don't know. I have to say it might be my favorite Marvel movie. I know that's kind of a hot take, and Jack does not agree.
That's a very, very cold take. I mean, hot. Whichever one is the bad one, because I can tell you right now that Captain America, the Winter Soldier, is already miles better than that, and that's in the same franchise as
true.
the first Captain America movie.
So,
But I'll leave you to your opinion.
Here's why I like it. I like it because it's just good and wholesome. He's just a kid from Brooklyn. I love that. I love a kid from Brooklyn. You know, it's fun for the whole family. You know, it's fighting Nazis and Hydra. You can watch it with your mama. You know, I guess you can watch the other ones too.
I think you can watch most Marvel movies with your mama.
I agree. But I don't know. There's something about it that I really enjoy. I might go through and watch the rest of the Captain America franchise soon. But yeah, I just was reminded about how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. Going on to my next one, I watched, and I really don't have much to say about this one. I watched Lady Bird on Amazon Prime from A24 Studios, which is a great movie studio, and anytime they come out with content, I automatically give it a look because I know the quality that they bring. Lady Bird was a very interesting movie. I'd say probably one that you wouldn't want to watch with your mama. It has some. It's a coming of age story about a senior in high school. So you can assume everything that's going to come with that kind of story. I'd say it was pretty predictable. I was kind of talking to my girlfriend about it, and she was like, "It's okay if it's predictable. It's a coming of age story." But I thought it could have been a little bit more unique. All in all, it was a great movie, and if you're interested in more artsy types of movies, I would definitely say give it a look.
For my for my next movie, I haven't watched a ton of movies recently. I'm gonna talk about Juno. I watched it on the plane on the way back from France, so that was a couple of weeks ago. And I'd seen it before, but I did really enjoy the story. I think for some reason the last time I saw it, I didn't pick up on the full story. It's kind of a coming of age story too, but with some teen pregnancy. Yeah, it was a good movie. It made me realize that like a lot of those movies with Michael Cera kind of all have the same soundtrack. And it's all like kind of like really angsty teen, like alternative pop and rock that like, they're all like a little bit self-deprecating, but also are kind of upbeat.
Yeah, it's alternative indie. It's
indie.
It's alternative indie.
But it's just fascinating how he gets away with like kind of playing the same character in a lot of those movies, but just like, that's just his thing. And, it also made me kind of want to have some orange Tic Tacs because that makes a prominent role in the movie. I was like, dang, I've not had a Tic Tac in a while.
Yeah. It's a great thing if you have bad breath.
True.
So I'm just going to rip off 2 movies that I watched recently. They both have the same star, Jesse Eisenberg. The first one I watched was The Art of Self-Defense, which is a very strange movie. It starts off as a comedy, and then it goes into a drama, and then it goes into a thriller movie, and then it kind of goes into a horror movie, and then it ends like a comedy, which by far is the most interesting and unique movie I have seen. It has a very dry delivery. I would liken it to the dialogue of a Wes Anderson movie. It has like a dry humor delivery, which I really enjoy. I don't know if I enjoyed the movie though because it was freaky. It was really freaky. But if you want to give it a shot, I'd say give it a shot. I think it's a good movie. And then, excuse me. Thank you. My next Jesse Eisenberg movie is The Social Network, which came out in 2010. It's the story of Mark Zuckerberg and all of the woes he had in court due to his Facebook. I guess it's sort of a coming of age story about Mark Zuckerberg. It made me do a lot of research about Mark Zuckerberg afterwards.
And whether or not he's a lizard.
He's not a lizard, but he is very, very strange. And I think it was interesting watching the interviews he did after, where he was like, a lot of that stuff wasn't true, but I think they had the wardrobe really right, and that's what he said. I thought that was really funny. I think it was a great movie. It has some great actors in it. You have Andrew Garfield, Jesse Eisenberg, Justin Timberlake, Armie Hammer, Rashida Jones. Just a really solid cast. And it won, I think, 3 Oscars, so definitely worth your time.
Dang.
Not too long of a movie, and it's still prevalent for today because, believe it or not, old people still use Facebook.
Well, thank you guys for watching.
Oh, I have one more.
Oh, you've got one more? Hit me with it.
I have one more, and this is a fresh one. This is a fresh one. This is one that I watched last night.
All right, I'm ready.
Also from A24 Studios.
Shout out.
I'll talk about I watched Honey Boy recently too. I'll talk about that in a different podcast because I really enjoyed that.
I want to watch that too, and then we'll talk about it. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a great movie. But the movie I want to talk about actually got put on Amazon Prime yesterday, so I took the opportunity to watch it last night, and it is called The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
All right.
And I've never been more confused watching a movie.
Really?
The aspect ratio is a square. It has a square aspect ratio, so it's not using half my TV screen. It's all in black and white. It's a little grainy. And it's just so confusing. It's like a psychedelic kind of movie where you see 2 characters get more and more paranoid the longer because they're stranded on an island with a lighthouse. So you see them kind of just fall apart mentally. It does this weird thing where you can't tell really what's real and what's fantasy. It's also really disturbing. So I wouldn't watch it again, sadly. I was talking to my friend Nick about it right after, because he loved the movie, and the way I would describe it was I definitely could see the artistic value in it, but I did not enjoy it. It's very strange. So if you want a very weird movie to watch, a very creepy movie to watch, I would check out The Lighthouse on Amazon Prime from A24.
That's awesome. Do we have any new movies that are coming out soon do we have any movie news about that kind of stuff?
You know, I want to watch the new Sonic movie, but it is $20 to buy right now.
Really?
And you can't rent it.
You can't rent.
I'm not trying to spend a pretty 2 stacks,
Yeah,
I'd
for
say,
real.
on a Sonic movie. And same with Trolls World Tour. I really enjoyed the first Trolls movie, but it's $20 to rent it. That's $20 to rent it.
You can't justify it.
That's wild.
How about, do we know about the second Quiet Place? Is that out?
You know, I have no idea. A lot of the movies got pushed back. Black Widow got pushed back to
That's what
November.
I heard.
Fast and Furious got pushed back to next year, April.
Well, they're going to keep making those till Kingdom Come, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be okay. John Cena's joining the mix now. It's just...
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, it's just a recipe for sequels and sequels and sequels. I am really excited for Fast and Furious 37. I heard that has a really dynamite script because they have it all scripted out through 100.
Yeah, I've heard they use a car drill to go to the center of the earth in that one. That's what the leaked plot has said.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. I'm just really excited to see what that drill looks like. I'm thinking it might look like the one of the Underminer from Incredibles.
Definitely. It's inspired. It's not plagiarism if it's inspired.
Yeah, it's just what do they call that? Fan fiction.
Exactly.
Well, I want to say thank you for listening to our podcast this week. We'd like to thank our sponsor, but we don't have one. If you want to sponsor us, Venmo is $2 and we'll say your name. But yeah, that's been the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.